Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to talk about, should you play or should you buy Star Citizen? Now, I've seen a lot of new people on this channel, and I just want to say thank you. We passed 500 subscribers, and it really means a lot that you guys are interested in joining the community and subscribing to the channel. Now, CIG has been doing a bit of marketing lately, and I can't help but notice on YouTube there have been a lot of Star Citizen ads play now. Just about every YouTube video I go to, I see an ad for Star Citizen. So this is a good thing. I think it's good that CIG is advertising more, but it also means that there are newer people who might be interested in Star Citizen. Kind of in the same note, I kind of feel like because, Starfield is so popular, being developed by a well-established studio, a lot of people are looking at other games that are kind of space games that are kind of similar. I've seen a couple of videos, of people kind of talking about it. So I feel like ultimately there might be people from the Starfield community, people who are looking at that game might look at Star Citizen. And so the kind of question comes up is, Star Citizen is an alpha. It's not released yet. It is a kind of bugging experience. What should I expect? Should I, spend $45 on this game? Should I spend $100 on the game? Should I buy this game right now? And kind of get into it, play it. Can I make this game my main game? Those are all really good questions. And I kind of think that as an experience wise, as somebody who enjoys space games, I think right now the experience that you can get from playing Star Citizen is worth it. In my opinion, for $45, even though it is very buggy at times, and they have gone through a very rough patch recently with players not being able to get in the game, but it's a little bit smoother now. And once you are able to get in the game, I believe that it is worth experiencing. Okay, if you're interested in space games, that is, if you like story driven games, single player games, fantasy games, sports games, stuff like that, I would say, yeah, wait until it's finished, because I don't really think you should have your first introduction into the sci-fi genre, be a negative one. But if you are already a fan of space games, I think it's definitely worth giving a shot. Like if you've played Elite Dangerous or you've heard of No Man's Sky, I think it's worth giving a shot. Now, I'm not really trying to sell the game to you in this video, but I kind of really want to give reasons why I think now is actually a good time to get into the game. I don't want to kind of use fear of missing out as a reason why, but to kind of just put things in perspective a little bit, that might give you a better idea of what is going on in the game right now. Because I feel like a lot of people who talk about the game, they kind of say, oh, it doesn't really have a story, it's just a sandbox. And that's not entirely true. Star Citizen has a lot of lore in the game. They have a lot of lore on the website. It's stuff that, isn't as widely known. I know a lot of people know about all the drama surrounding the game, but what a lot of people don't know is how much lore is actually in this game. I see, being compared to Elite Dangerous a lot of times, and a lot of people say Elite Dangerous has more of a story than Star Citizen. But in my opinion, I feel like they're a lot more equal. In my opinion, I feel like Star Citizen does lore very good when it comes to manufacturers and locations and stuff like that. And of course, Elite has the books that really, have a lot of the lore in them, a lot of those stories that people have written. But again, you can go on the website and you can read up on all of the lore of Star Citizen as well. So I feel like, Star Citizen does a very good job of implementing the lore in the game in what you see. But on top of that is something kind of, which is this persistence of the world. Now, from the beginning of when the persistent universe came out to now is essentially a single continuous story experience, or canon experience, so to say. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that things that happen in the persistent universe persist throughout the lifetime of the PU. And a good example of that is the Siege of Orson. So before the Siege of Orson, there was a location in the Crusader planetary system called Security Post Korea. And this space station was an abandoned security outpost before the Siege of Orson. But after the Siege of Orson, which is an in-game event, occurred, the Security Post Korea was completely redone. The in-game company, Crusader, went out and they bolstered their security because of the attack on their city. So CIG went in and they completely changed Security Post Korea. And they changed its purpose as well. It is now the only place where you can clear your crime stat and avoid prison. Before that, there were several places around the star system where you can clear your crime stat. So, another good example of that is the election for Imperator, with Imperator Addison getting elected. The Imperator is a position that lasts 10 years. So most of the development of this game is going to be kind of with Imperator Addison at the helm of the UEE. And of course, this has a lot of kind of knock-on effects, smaller effects, in-game lore effects, different storylines that may happen throughout the game. So another good example of this is, there's a lot of talk about Port Olisar getting updated. So there might be some kind of story event that the station gets destroyed and a new station replaces it. Again, I don't know. This is coming out before the event happens, so anything is possible at this point. But it's been spoken of before in the past because CIG wants to update the asset. It doesn't have some of the features that the other stations have, and CIG wants to change around how they do things. They want to have a bit less landing pads and a bit more hangars, so they can do things like cargo elevators and different things. So realistically, Port Olisar might get updated, and if you aren't playing the game right now, you would have never experienced that. And so you're probably asking yourself, why does that matter? If all of this stuff is happening before the game comes out, then it clearly doesn't matter. Well, a big part of Star Citizen is experiencing the universe. Now, a lot of people say that Star Citizen isn't really a game because, there's kind of no end game. There's, not much of an economy and stuff like that. But really the objective of playing Star Citizen is experiencing Star Citizen, experiencing the gameplay loops, kind of getting a handle on the universe, and being a citizen of this universe. The experience of being a citizen of this universe is kind of the goal of the game. So when you're not experiencing the game, not experiencing different gameplay loops, you could be missing out on, different aspects of the game. So if you wait until the game comes out or wait 10 years, there is a lot that's going to happen that is, essentially counted as canon in the timeline of the universe that is happening right now. That's happened in the past. It's like the original Jumptown, for instance. I was there, and it is completely different from the way Jumptown is now. And if you never experienced that, then you just never experienced that. And it's one of those things that you can just hop in and experience these things that are happening now. Again, I don't want to use FOMO as a reason to jump in the game right now, but there's really no reason not to. There's no reason to not give it a try. Of course, if you're waiting to your hardware can't run the game or something like that, that is more than a valid reason. But if you have the computer, why not? It's only $45. The next thing is, of course, the fact that you have a lot of players playing now. And again, I don't want to use FOMO as an excuse, but it's kind of like head starts in other games where you buy a deluxe edition and you get the ability to play it 5 days early. And a lot of people, they essentially buy it, they play it the weekend, they level their character, and when everybody else gets an opportunity to play the game, there's already level 50 characters in the game. Now, Star Citizen isn't a game where there's a leveling system like that. It's based on experience and practice. You really just have to do these things and get into the rhythm of it. A kind of repetition. Like, if you want to be the best PvPer in this game, you got to practice. You got to fly. You got to do missions. You've got to dogfight. You want to be the best PvP dogfighter in this game. By the time if you want to wait, by the time you get in the game, there are going to be thousands of players who have experience. Like, again, at the end of the day, when the game is actually released, CIG is going to wipe everyone's slate clean. But of course, people who bought ships, they're going to have those ships day one, and they're going to have all their skills day one. So there is the aspect of having to do a little bit catch up with, right now there are over 4 million accounts. So I can easily say that millions of people play this game. Last time CIG, gave us numbers, they said, when a patch drops, I think they said something like 100,000 daily players, and when there's really nothing going on, there's like 25,000 daily players. I'm not surprised by that. There are a lot of people who play this game. So the numbers are high, and there's going to be a lot of people who have experience day one when the game does come out. And again, I don't know when that's ever going to be, next 5 years, next 10 years, but there's going to be a lot of people playing, and a lot of people that have experience running cargo, mining, salvaging, doing combat, all that stuff. And there are going to be a lot of people who they crash as soon as they get out of the hangar. Now, the community is very open and welcoming, so if you're a new player, people are really going to try to do their best to help you out. But at the end of the day, when the game comes out, it's going to be kind of a different story than it is now. Now, people are of course very helpful because nothing really matters, but I feel like when the game comes out, things are going to be a little bit more competitive, because again, progression is not infinite. You your money matters more. A large thing that people do now is before wipe, they give new players a lot of their money, because there are wipes in the game right now. And, kind of paying it forward, giving somebody new an opportunity to buy a ship and check it out. This it literally doesn't hurt anything. So a lot of players do that. Um, you go on the in-game chat, in global chat, people are sending other people money. It's pretty common. But basically, the experience is something that I feel like if you can play the game right now, I feel like there's no reason to miss out on it. There are in-game events that happen and are persistent, essentially. Once they happen, there is knock-on effects to it in the game. The next thing is, even with your account, there are a lot of people who have essentially received gifts from CIG. CIG gives backers gifts all the time, during holidays. Luminalia, we got a ton of gifts, guns, undershoots, ship skins. CIG just gives this stuff away to the backers for free. You don't have to buy it on the store. It doesn't cost anything. It just gets added to your account. The only thing you need, I believe the only thing you need to get any of these gifts is to have a game package on your account. So even if you don't play, if you log in during the event, I believe you have to visit the website and log in, you get these gifts. So there are some gifts that some people don't want, so CIG made it an option. If you don't want this item, you don't have to take it, but if you want this item, I think you just have to go to the website and claim the item, and it gets added to your account. So yeah, if you have a game package, even if you're not playing, just go to the website during an event and you get all this free stuff. So day one, when the game launches, whenever that is, you have all this stuff already. Like half of the stuff on my account I didn't pay for. CIG just gifted it to me because I've been playing the game for so long. The next thing, again, it kind of ties into FOMO. I feel like CIG relies on FOMO way too much in their marketing, but it is what it is. It works, so that's probably why they do it. But there are a lot of timed exclusive skins and stuff like that. Now there are a lot of timed exclusive skins that are not actually exclusive. You do have an opportunity to get them again, and what I'm talking about is kind of like holiday flair. There's several holidays in the game for St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, and these holidays, they have holiday exclusive skins. So for Valentine's Day, in game it's called Coromore, and you get on the store they sell a skin that is for the Coromore holiday in game. And then of the same thing with St. Patrick's Day and whatnot. Like Luminalia is essentially Christmas in the game, but it's the in-game version of Christmas. And so you get an opportunity to get different skins for these events. The same thing with Fleet Week and IAE, which stands for Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. You get skins that are exclusive to these events, but they come around essentially every year, so you don't have to worry about it too much. If you missed it this year, you'll have an opportunity to buy it again next year. But what is a little bit more exclusive is like Citizen Con stuff. These are items that you can't buy and that don't come around again the next year. Citizen Con free gift packs are essentially free items that CIG give out during Citizen Con on the webpage. So all you need is a game package, and CIG gives all backers these in-game items during Citizen Con. So this year during Citizen Con, so basically if you sign up now, this year's CitizenCon, you'll get all the free items that CIG gives out during CitizenCon, and those are items you can't really go back and get again because they're exclusive to that CitizenCon. But again, they're free, you don't have to buy them. CIG just gives these things out as gifts to all backers. So by having an account and buying it now, you essentially just get all this free stuff. Now the last thing is price. So right now the game is cheap, and again, I'm not trying to talk any of you guys into buying anything. Honestly, everything is, up to you. The decision ultimately is yours. Again, I don't want you to feel any pressure whatsoever into buying the game. I know it looks cool. I know CIG is doing a lot of advertising for the game, and it's good that the game is growing. But I don't want people to feel like they're missing out on anything if they don't buy the game now. But that being said, I do want to give you guys good advice, and in my opinion, right now the game is the cheapest it will ever be. Prices are gonna go up. Ship prices are going up, and the game is going up. Squadron 42, was taken off of the store. It was $45. You could get it as a bundled game package, I think for like $65. So you would get the ship, the game for the persistent universe, and then Squadron 42, and I think that was like $65. And then if you just wanted the persistent universe and the starter ship, that was $45. But now CIG is updating the price of Squadron 42 as a standalone game. Now there still might be a bundle that allows you to get the persistent universe and Squadron 42 at a discounted price, but Squadron 42 is going to be essentially a standalone game. I don't know if they're going to try to compete with other AAA game prices, but Squadron 42 does have a star-studded cast. Gary Oldman, Andy Serkis, Mark Hamill. These are big names, and they could technically sell that game for $70. I'm not saying they are, but they could technically do that. It looks AAA. It has a lot of A-list actors in it, and it's been in development for 10 years. That has to be some kind of sizable investment from CIG. A lot of our backer money is probably going to Squadron 42. So not that they need to make money on the game, but I'm just saying that it's probably not going to be bundled in with the persistent universe for only $65. So if you're interested in Squadron 42, the price of that game is going to go up. And kind of the same thing with ships. Ship like the Cutlass Black right now is $100. It's going to go up to, I think, 105 or 110 or something like that. And a lot of that is kind of inflation. I really don't know. I'm not a money guy. I don't work at CIG. I don't know, the thought process behind a lot of this stuff. But they are raising the price on certain ships. And if you want to buy certain ships with real money, it's going to be more expensive. The next thing with prices going up, I believe CIG have said this a long time ago. I don't know if they've updated this or changed their mind on this, but from what I know, the price of ships in game right now are lower because the game is in alpha and CIG wants players to be able to test out and enjoy ships. But when the game is released, the price of in-game ships is basically going to double. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if 890 Jump costs 30 million in-game credits to buy in-game, when the game is released, an 890 Jump could cost as much as 60 million in-game credits to buy in-game. So if you want to play around with this ship, it's a lot easier to get those credits during the alpha and play around with that ship, take screenshots, have fun with your friends. Now when the ship is much cheaper to purchase in game versus when the game is released, because when the game is released, in-game ships will be more expensive and there will be more money sinks. Essentially, right now you don't really have to worry about insurance. You have like a claim time or something like that, but when the game is released, you're gonna have insurance to pay for, and cargo loading and unloading things to pay for. There are going to be more money sinks in the game that require you to spend more credits to experience effectively the same thing. So to experience this essentially very similar gameplay, you're gonna have to spend more in-game credits. So that's why I feel like, there is an advantage of playing right now, even though it's very buggy. Who's to say that the finished release thing isn't still buggy? It probably will be. I don't see, it ever having no bugs whatsoever. There still might be a couple of bugs, and of course CIG will, probably work to squash those bugs and make things better, but ultimately there may always be some level of bugs, and as long as it's smooth and playable and you can complete missions and you aren't getting disconnected by 30Ks, I feel like it's a fun experience. So yeah, if you were to ask me if I think someone should play Star Citizen right now, I would say yes. To me, there's very little downside. Like, what do you really have to lose? You waste some of your time. You're not wasting money because the game's not getting any cheaper. And I really don't think you're wasting time, because the game's not really about leveling and progression. It's more about experiencing the game, experiencing the universe, and having fun role-playing spaceman. So if that's what you're into and that's what you want to do, why wait? The game is fun right now. Yes, it is buggy. Yes, a lot of people have had issues, but don't let that sour your opinion. Get in and try for yourself. Make your own decision. Everybody's experience is going to be different. I'm not running top of the line hardware, and as you can see, I'm my frame rate doesn't look bad. This gameplay behind me that you guys are seeing right now, I have I think a 6-year-old system. I have a Ryzen 5 3600 and a 590 and 32 gigabytes of DDR3, and then on a 120 gigabyte SSD. It's not the super top of the line setup, and I'm recording gameplay footage and making videos on YouTube and doing all this stuff with this PC setup and getting the kind of frame rate you see behind me. This is the updated Lorville, and I'm getting 30-40 FPS, no problem. So, but that being said, there are people with like really baller systems and they're getting the same frame rate. So your mods may vary. I have no idea what kind of experience you're gonna have with the game, but try it out. I feel like if you are into sci-fi, if you're into space games, it's worth a try. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you tried Star Citizen? Are you a long time backer? Do you have your own reasons for playing the game right now? And are you a new player looking to get into Star Citizen? What do you think about it based on the footage that you've seen? Let me know in the comments down below. You guys have been awesome. Again, like I said, we crossed 500 subscribers and this channel is growing, and you guys are commenting and liking the videos, and that's awesome. I really appreciate it. You guys are dope. So yeah, like I always said, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Salute.